Hey everyone, welcome back to Maximum Dad Games. I know it's been a while since I've put out a video, but I figured we'd start a new series today, and this is a game that I've been playing quite a bit lately, actually, and it's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy these types of games because I'm such a min-maxer at heart, or I like to get really efficient with things, and this is a good game to maximize how efficient you can be. And so I like trying to see how I can make things a little bit better, tweak things, and this is a great game that allows me to do that. So I figured, hey, let's start a series on 2 Point Hospital. Now, I'm not familiar with. A lot of people are saying like this is just an update to Theme Hospital, which I've never played, so I don't understand that if that's the case. But I mean, I like it for what it is. I think it's a great game. But the reason why I wanted to start a Let's Play series on this, I guess you could say this is more like a walkthrough, or forget it. Let's go ahead and start. So we're going to start here in Hogsport. This is the beginning hospital. This is basically going to be our tutorial, this level, so I'll try to walk through it as quickly as possible. Just, again, tutorial, move the camera, blah, 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 blah. We're going to... Reception, great. Put that there. Rotating items is Z and X. No, I want to hire. Assistance, we want customer service. I'll kind of go over this later, more in depth. Because, again, this isn't going to be like a beginner's type of thing. Again, like, I've already played the game all the way through. Pretty much, I have like 2 stars on the last level, and I'm on my way to get 3. It just takes a long time. So I've kind of already beat the game, but it's been a lot of fun. So I decided I'd put a video series together for this. So, yeah, again, this is all rotating, zooming, it's in and out, in and out, in and out. Pitch the camera, R and F. Rotate the camera is Q and E, and then move it is the WASD keys. Yada, yada, yada. So now we just got to wait for a patient to enter and be diagnosed, and I think that he's going to want a pharmacy, but it's not unlocked yet. So we just have to go through the motions until that is. So let's speed things up. So basically and see, here's a little notes that pop up. So diagnose the first patient, we need to build a pharmacy. So I'm going to just put it on slow. Build a pharmacy right here. Blah, 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 blah. That's good for now. And hire, and then a nurse needs to run it, and we got a nurse that has pharmacy management, although weak bladder. It doesn't matter. This is just the beginning level. So one thing you'll understand as you go through this game is that there are certain rooms that can be run by doctors and certain rooms that can be run by nurses. So you need to balance, and there are some rooms, and then the rooms themselves are split up into diagnostics and treatment. So some diagnostic rooms are run by doctors, some diagnostic rooms are run by nurses. Some treatment rooms are run by doctors, and then some treatment rooms are run by nurses. So you need to kind of balance that out, figure out which works best for you. And as we kind of go along here, I'll explain that a little bit more in depth. But let's speed it back up again. As we kind of go through, I'll walk through that a little bit. But so a patient was cured, great. We'll keep diagnosing. And then we got reputation rising, great, fantastic. So we need to hire janitors. We'll hire this person. Now again, later I'll kind of go into. Right now we have placed 2 fire extinguishers. It's always a good idea to place a fire extinguisher in the room where there's a machine in there, because they can catch fire But that only kind of happens in the later levels. But it's still a good habit to get into. 2 benches. We'll place 1 bench right there. 1 bench right there. 1 leaflet stand. 1 drink machine. One snack machine. Put 1 there. Now, one thing. Okay, so we're going to build a staff room. We'll do the minimum 3x2. Let's put a snack machine here, drink machine here. Yeah, that's good. And we'll place a bin right there. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of items that are locked behind a currency called Kudosh. I think that's... Oh, crap. Let's try this again. Drink machine, snack machine, we'll put it right there, bin, great. Plant's fine. It's whatever. Okay, staff room. Did that. Janitors, great. So we got toilets. There. So one thing you'll notice, and as I'm going on, when I'm building new rooms and stuff, what I found has helped me a lot is go watch Pinstar's videos. He's done a lot of testing and figuring out the best way to set up your rooms. And so I'm going to be kind of following his style. So if you don't quite follow me, and I'll go through it too as we continue on. It requires a lot of these items to be unlocked, or quite a few of these items to be unlocked later on, and right now we don't have the Kudosh for that. Right now we have 40, but that'll come later, and so we'll get into that. But I'm going to start setting up these rooms in the way that he describes. So if you want more information on that, he's got a bunch of kind of walkthrough videos, I guess, tips videos that explain how to set up your rooms. And he's got a couple more about like staffing tips and stuff like that. But I'm mainly going to follow his advice on how to set up your rooms. Excuse me. So yeah, we're just, so we need to place 2 bins. We'll put another one right here. So we need another diagnosis rooms. So general diagnosis again. So this, just by playing the game, I know this is a room that's gonna be run by a nurse. So I'm gonna place this over here with my other room that is run by a nurse, so that way nurses aren't running all over the place. I'm gonna put an extinguisher because this is a machine; it can catch on fire. That's good for now. Great. And your level increases by placing more rooms, training up your staff, promoting them, stuff like that. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Hire another nurse. So, because it's a diagnostics room, what you want to do is, when you hire people, you'll see these traits. Well, here's a treatment trait. So, this would be a good person to hire for maybe even the pharmacy. And since they have a training slot open, we could train them to learn the pharmacy management thing. But right now, we're just going to hire that person. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the staff page, and I'm going to go to nurses. Okay, so I got my 2 nurses, this person, and then I'm going to go to the jobs list, or job assignment. So I only want this person running the pharmacy, And I only want this person running the diagnostic lab. Great. And you can do the same thing for doctors, assistants. Again, because this is the first level, see, this is, later on, it's going to look more like this, and you'll see, hey, I want my people doing these jobs, la 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 la. And as you can see, there's a capture ghost ability, but because you need to be trained in that, he cannot capture ghosts. And that's what happens when people die. They have a chance to turn into a ghost, and you need to capture them, or they run around and scare your people. Okay, so I need 82% sure of the diagnosis. I'm going to send patient for treatment. If it's anything over like 70 or 75, I'll send them for treatment, but you don't usually get that message. So now we have a ward. So I'm going to put the ward here. And again, if you have any questions as to why I'm setting the rooms up the way I am, watch Pinstar's videos for more in-depth. I can pretty much remember how he has them set up. Or you could just watch me do it and copy me. And put another screen here. But again, there's a lot more items that need to be unlocked. Like a medicine cabinet will need to be unlocked, because that helps with diagnosis and treatment. Coffee makers are going to need to be unlocked. Sweet dispensers eventually, but this right here, the Gold Star Award, is one of the most important items you can unlock. Now, it's a little cheaty, and I'll go over it when we unlock it, but it's a good way to get your rooms leveled up fairly quickly. Now, I don't want my nurses in the ward. And one thing I'm embarrassed it took me a while to figure out, but if you don't like the candidates you have already, every month I think the top person will go away, and then a new person will come up here on the bottom. Or if you just don't like these people, you can just click the red X. And for some reason, it took me forever to find this red X, even though it's glaring me right in the face. So I was embarrassed to see that. This person, will put them in the ward, and then we'll change their jobs, because I only want them working in the ward, even though they have a pharmacy. You want to keep your staff specialized. And I'm going to keep it on top speed for now. So one thing that this game didn't have until recently is the ability to copy rooms. And this is probably the best feature that they've added. Because then you can you make one room and that's your template, and then you can just copy that room over and over again, which is great. Doctor, I don't want him treating, I want... Okay, so I need to cure 3 patients with lightheadedness. Room, deluxe clinic, 3x3. I'm just going to put it here. I'm going to unlock chairs, because chairs are very important. Because what you don't want to have happen is your staff walking around the room doing things they shouldn't be doing when patients are ready to be seen. So I don't put them in the GP's offices, and I'll tell you why in a little bit, or as we go along. Let's go ahead and put this guy here. Gregory Nichols, yes. We didn't put a extinguisher in here. We won't need them. We won't need extinguishers for the first couple levels, but it's a good habit to get into. because later on in the game there will be like disasters and stuff. All right, let's center this a little bit better. And you can hover over a room to see the queue forming up. So you can see in the middle, there's 2 people in the line for the pharmacy. And if I hover over the deluxe, there's no queue. So you can see for this diagnostics room, there's 3 people. The 3 dots mean the person's going in right now. And then 1 means he's the next guy up. 2 means he's the second guy up. Pretty simple to understand. Now, one thing you can tell mostly, about 80% of the time, you can tell what disease a person has just by looking at them. It's like, this person has lightheadedness. I know that because their head is light, and they're eventually going to come in here, but they need to get diagnosed all the way. Because see, right here, if you click on that person, we don't need to do this right now. So now he's getting diagnosed because they're not quite sure he has lightheadedness yet, and that'll increase as your nurses and doctors' skill increases. So now they're fairly certain that he has lightheadedness, but he's going to go back to the GP's office. Now, as we get further along, only GPs can assign treatment, or you can do it yourself. Or I think any diagnostic room can assign them to treatment. I'm not 100% sure, but it mostly happens when they go to a GP's office. So what's going to happen as you get later on in the game is you're going to have tons of GP's offices because people are going to be going from one diagnostic room to another diagnostic room and back and forth, and then they'll finally get assigned treatment by a GP room. So you'll have people going to a GP office maybe twice, 3 times, possibly even 4 times, depending on their illness and the diagnosis. So GP's offices are kind of the more important offices to have, and make sure you're well stocked up on them. We don't really need to hire anybody just yet. We just need to cure 2 more patients with lightheadedness. So I think we can just send this person to treatment. So we can't send people to treatment manually. So that's what I'm going to do. And I think the lower their diagnosis confidence, and you can see the chance of cure here. Because obviously staff skill plays a big part into whether they're going to be cured or not. And right now we don't really have a whole lot of skill with that guy. So maybe I'm going to get one more nurse to work in here. So hopefully, so this guy, we know he has lightheadedness. The certainty is 84%. So he's been diagnosed. The certainty is, they're pretty certain. But I don't have a doctor in, because every once in a while your doctors and nurses and staff will take breaks, because they need breaks. It's how they replenish their energy, stuff like that. So break rooms are kind of the most important rooms as far as your staff goes. So we cured a patient with lightheadedness. Great. You can see when they have like a newspaper over their head, that means they want to take a break. Doing good on money. Maybe I want to hire. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this person in here because he's got a treatment skill. So then what I'm going to do is move, because treatment is useful in treatment rooms, but in rooms like a GP, general practitioner's office, you want kind of more focus more towards diagnostics, because GPs don't treat anybody, they diagnose. So I'm going to move, so what I did was move this guy who was working in here into the GP's office. So when, it's always a good rule of thumb too, that when you have a certain amount of room. So like here, I have 2 GPs offices. So I kind of want to have N plus 1 staff to handle those rooms. So if I have 3 GPs offices, I want to have 4 GPs ready to go in case one of them gets on a break. And as you scale that up, that works too. However, you can get to a point where you have like 10 GPs offices. I like to have like 12 or 13 staff to cover those offices because a lot of times like 2 or 3 doctors will take a break at the same time. So I want those rooms to always be filled. So that's kind of one thing to keep in mind as you go along. But if you're only having one room, like one pharmacy or one, general diagnosis room, you can hire extra staff. It's all personal preference. So just need to cure one more patient. Looks like this guy. Okay, he's been diagnosed. He's going to get sent for treatment. And I think our doctor is on a break. No, he's on call. Oh. No, it's this guy. Okay. So we're almost there to 1 star. Each level you try to get 3 stars. Oh crap. So sorry, that person died. So we promote a staff, but we don't have any way to train them. Training is probably one of the more important things to kind of keep a handle on. We don't have any way to. I need to hire a janitor that knows how to capture ghosts. Because this guy does, wherever my janitor is, he does not know how to capture ghosts. He's good at upgrading machines and he's good at maintaining machines, but he doesn't know how to capture ghosts. So hopefully the next applicant I get knows how to capture ghosts. Okay, so we got access to another new plot of a new hospital, and then we got a lightheaded poster. Great. Now, what we can do is move on to the next hospital. What I'm going to do is I like to get 3 stars and everything before moving on. So I think we're just going to stick with it. But for now, I think that's a good place to end on the first star for this first level. So yeah, join me again on the next episode when we try to get to star number 2. All right. Look forward to seeing you next time. Same dad channel. Catch you later.